Good Tuesday morning, Foggers. I hope everybody had a great Memorial Day weekend. Hopefully, the alcohol consumption and pills and things that are common, unfortunately, in our profession, I hope that was at a minimum. I hope you can remember your weekend, right? And again, for some of you, that'll be like, wow, that's pretty drastic or pretty dramatic. Trust me when I tell you that it's not. Just because of my past experience many years ago and a lot of officers that I'm in contact with, alcohol continues to be a huge issue culturally, just across the board, but definitely in our profession of first responder. It's easy, it's accessible, and you don't look like a weirdo when you're drinking alcohol, right? Until you start acting like a weirdo and you lose control because of your inhibitions and a traumatic past. So hopefully you guys had a good weekend with your family. We were very grateful for the soldiers that lost their life and gave up their life for us to have our freedom. And because I'm the advocate here for mental health for first responders and military, what always sticks out to me is the families that are left behind, right? So that's why I posted what I posted yesterday. The children that are going to grow up without their mother and father because they were killed in action, and the spouses, right? And I've been in contact with some of the spouses on here who are surviving widows because their husbands were killed in the line of duty as far as law enforcement, and just the things that they all struggle with, right? So that gets me to struggle. And just being in contact with some of the officers that I've been talking to that are going through issues with alcohol and substance and, a lot of the things because of traumatic calls that just opened the door to a lot of their suffering, right? Yes, the traumatic call had an issue, a trigger, if you would, but their issues always go back to their childhood, right? And where they came from. So, struggle. I always tell people when I talk to them, these officers and first responders, that you've got to be willing to put the work in. When we talk about searching yourself and struggle, it's because of those things, right? You're going to have to put that work in, right? So just the fact that, okay, I'm messed up and I need help, that's great. And what are you going to do about it, right? Yes, we go through therapy, we talk to peers, we do all the things that that we need to do in order to get better, but you've got to put in the work. You have to resist things, right? And you just can't say, well, I get the urge to drink or take a pill, whatever, so I'm going to do that. You've got to put the work in, right? The first thing is desire to get better and desire to live and desire to be there for your loved ones and to love yourself and treat yourself better. Once you do that and you make the decision, it's just like wanting to lose weight, right? Cutting calories, working out, moving, doing the stuff that you need to do. So you have to put the work in. And yes, it's going to be a struggle and it can be a downright fight depending on what it is that you're dealing with. But you have to deal with your stuff. You just didn't start drinking one day. You didn't see a guy get killed or you pulled the trigger and all of a sudden you turned to alcohol. There is a lot that's there and you have to search that and want to discover what it is that's wrong, okay? The good news is there's help and you can completely recover from all these things. These are injuries. Like I was telling my son earlier this morning, he's always asking me questions about 3 a.m. and why and the what's and how do things happen. And I'm, son, listen, it's just like when you fall off a bike, right? You clean up the wound and there's ways to help the body heal. That's exactly like therapy. You just don't rub more dirt on it and go about your business. Yeah, it'll heal, but it'll probably scar up. It'll probably get a little infected. So what you want to do is when you fall off your bike, clean the wound. And yeah, maybe you put some Neosporin, some ointment, a Band-Aid, whatever it may be, but your body will do the healing. But if you help it out, you'll heal that much better, right? And there won't be a scar. The chances of being a scar, being left there forever, are less if you do the right things to help you heal. So that's just the analogy that I would tell you guys. So today, Tuesday, we had a long weekend. We're grateful for the men and women that gave up their life for us to able to to be able to have barbecues and be out on the boat and do those things. I saw a widow of a military serviceman that said that it was a very, very sad day, and I'm sure that in her life it's a very sad day. And then I saw an interview with a Navy SEAL. You've probably seen him. I don't recall his name, but he had his face completely mangled up by rounds that were shot into his face, and he says, I think different. I lost a lot of my comrades in combat, and I think different. I want everybody here to have fun, to have the barbecues, to go out and spend time with their families and enjoy all the freedoms we have, as long as we remember those that allowed us to make it. So I choose that, coming from a hero like himself, who lost all his comrades and all his brothers and sisters in combat, that we enjoy our stuff as long as we keep in the back of our mind and in our heart that there are people that have suffered and continue to suffer for the rest of their life for us to be able to do the things that we do. So today the message is that re-engage, refocus, start taking care of your body again. We had some time off. It's time to get back to work. Be better, want to get better, search yourself, have that desire, and do the things that are necessary to get better. First have that desire, and then let's get to work and get better, okay? Struggle is going to be a part of that. It might be a dogfight, right? But we're going to do that. But if you have the desire, that's the very first step, okay? Look at your son, look at your daughter, look at your spouse, significant others, your loved ones, and find the why, right? And I'm telling you that the first step is to love yourself. And then from there, everything will fall into place and you'll be better for everybody else. With that, I'm grateful for all the followers. We're almost up to 700 followers, which is amazing in such a short time. We still have a lot of people that are engaged with our accounts that don't follow, and that's fine. And we're always confidential here and safe. Nobody's gonna ever say your name or discuss anything of your stuff. If I think that, either by writing to me or your story is valid, I will ask you, can I share without giving your name? Because through all of our suffering and all of our work, we all get better, okay? That's just life experience. With that, thank you for everything you do. Thank you for your service. Re-engage, refocus, get back at it, and go get it, okay? Happy Tuesday, guys. 3M Fog.